been falling, I've been ripping, ew, I've been running and having fun. I ain't missing none since I met you.
We back. Like I said, welcome to AAP Magazine. We got a fine show for you tonight. We got an outstanding man here. Last week, Tuesday, as a matter of fact, the first day of the Vantage, I was at Winston Lake Golf Course. And the most significant thing that I noticed during the activities of the clinic for children was the fact that there was a gentleman present who all the children were coming up to, shaking his hand and paying some sort of homage to. Maybe that went unnoticed because it was a lot of people there, but it didn't go unnoticed to me. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to a man that all of you probably know, but he has received many honors and awards since I had him on the show the last time, which was about 2 years ago, I believe, 98. Mr. Harold Donovan. Thank you, Harold.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, let me tell you, let me ask you, I'm sorry. What award did you receive from the PGA? I know you got 2 awards from the Carolinas PGA and the National.
PGA. The award was the Junior Golf Leader of the PGA. In other words, that means that I won the top teacher in the country for that for last year.
And then you got one, the Carolinas PGA.
Yeah, Carolinas PGA. Well, that comes together.
Okay,
That's
okay.
a togetherness type thing.
And I remember the Carolinas came first.
Yeah, well.
And then didn't they honor you at some tournament?
Well, they honored me in so many tournaments, man, that
Okay.
I kind of have a hard time keeping up with it. But you might be talking about the Black Hall of Fame, which I am the director of. And we bring people in all over the country, and that might be what you're referring to.
Well, I think you went to Pinehurst.
Oh
for
yeah,
this.
yeah. With Pinehurst, when I got the
During the PGA,
got the Junior Golf
tournament.
Award.
Yeah, you got the Junior Golf Award.
Right.
Okay, now how long have you been working with young people with respect to golf?
Well, I was a golf pro for 46 years, and I guess for the last 25 years, I've been working with junior golf. See, at first I was trying to be an aspiring touring pro, which I was a great player, hit the ball good, but I was a lousy putter.
Okay.
And if you can't putt, you can't play on the tour. So after I found out that I was a lousy putter and couldn't improve, I became a club pro. In other words, that's running golf courses, golf administration, teaching kids, fixing clubs, setting up golf shops, and all that type of stuff.
Any outstanding kids today that you taught maybe 10, 15 years ago that you could think of?
Well, there are a few guys around right now, but you know, the economics of golf is so tough for a black kid that he can have the greatest talent in the world, but if he can't get that financial help, you got to have money to go on that tour. That's one of the only sports in the world that you got to have your own money to start. So you take baseball, or somebody comes along and get them guys a pile of money. You take a basketball, somebody comes along and get them a pile of money. But golf, you got to have a certain amount of money of your own to even get started in the game. Then you can win money. Now, I've been associated with a lot of those black pros. Matter of fact, most of all those black pros, I was the guy who was doing the teaching, the Jim Dents, the Pete Brown, the Charlie Siffords. Even Charlie's older than me, but I helped Charlie with his game a lot.
Now, let me ask you something. Did you go out to the Vantage yesterday?
I was out there Saturday. I didn't go back Sunday.
I was out there yesterday. Dent had a 2-stroke lead going into 16 on the tee. He birdied 13, 14, 15. And on 16, he pulled out the driver and went out of bounds. And seemed like, I don't know if you know him or not, but it seemed like, well, yeah, you know him. Does he get kind of in a hurry when it gets close to the end?
You know,
because
that
it seems as though he gets in a hurry a little.
That pressure would do that to a lot of people. I mean, you know, so it's hard to just say that he gets in a hurry. Pressure, as the old said, pressure will burst a pipe. So he just got, I guess the pressure just got on him. And because he should have won the tournament. He had 2 shots with 2 holes to go.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he should not protect that 2-shot lead.
Right. That's what everybody was saying.
Yeah, but like I say, a lot of people don't, who have never been in those spots, don't understand the pressure of it. See, pressure way
Now, what
down.
about what's the difference? Let's say Tiger Woods, and what advantages does he have other than the fact that he's walking on your shoulders, and his father is a black man who experienced some of the things that you experienced?
Well, the advantage that Tiger have, that he started early. And to be a good golfer, you got to start early. You got to have, you got to get the lessons and have something to work with. Now, Tiger came along not as the way we did. We came along as black kids on the golf course not allowed to touch the golf club. The only way we would touch the golf club, we'd sneak out there and hit balls. In the evening, go out there and sneak, and they might get shot right here in Winston-Salem. I got started here at Reynolds Park, and I done got chased by the cops. The pro that ran us down the road wouldn't let us make no money because we out there on a public golf course with my father paying tax, but I couldn't participate because I was black.
So that struggle,
Yeah.
maybe kept a lot of opportunities away from
Right.
you
Right.
and others at an earlier age.
Right. And see, now we end up having what they call the black tour. I played all over the country on the black tour, and made a little bit of money, but it wasn't a whole lot of money out there. You see, I played decent enough to make money, but like I say, it wasn't a lot of money out there. So therefore, and then we would try to play on the PGA Tour at one time. They had what they call a Caucasian clause. Now, PGA Golf is the only professional golf is the only organization who had a clause in writing that you had to be a Caucasian to be a member. Baseball, football, basketball, all that was gentleman's agreement. But golf, they had it in writing, and they had to go to court to sue them to make them break it down. That's why I was so determined to become a PGA pro. And I was one of the first to become a Class A PGA pro. And my son also is a Class A PGA pro. And we are the first 2 black father and son in the history of golf to be PGA members.
Okay, now, in working with the young kids, what age groups are you working with today?
We usually try to start with them about age 8 to 17. But we find out most of the time, them kids, they'll come and stay about 3 or 4 years. But when they start playing, getting to that football and basketball, the girls start being chased by the guys, they start kind of falling away. Now, I got a golf team now that have about 3 outstanding girls on there. I mean, if they stay with it, they could go all the way.
Just that good.
That's how good they are.
What do you emphasize when you're teaching?
Well, I try to
Do you emphasize around, do you work from the green back to the tee, or
No,
tee
what
to
I
the
try to
green?
do is, see, in order to play golf, you got to be able to hit the ball first. Everybody
Okay.
call and say, hey, bro, I want you to teach me how to play golf. Well, you can't learn how to play golf until you learn how to hit the ball.
Okay.
Once you learn how to hit the ball, then you can start playing golf.
Okay.
So what I try to emphasize is the basic fundamentals of golf. I try to start off with sound grip, a good stance, good balance, good posture, and the club head control.
Okay. Now, everybody basically has their own swing.
Yeah.
You just try to get people to stay with the same basics. I was watching Jim Thorpe out there at the Vantage. I've never seen a guy swing like he swings.
Yeah.
But he was hitting the ball pretty straight.
Yeah. Well, all of them have their own style, but if you look at them closely, at one point you'll see all of them doing the same thing. When they get back to the ball, they're all in that perfect position.
Okay.
The club is square.
Okay.
They're behind the ball where they can deliver power, and that type of stuff.
And the feet still.
Yeah.
And the head ain't moving.
Right.
You're not jumping or anything.
Right. Well, you
so
have to
the,
use
the basics of that.
Yeah, in a sense, you got to footwork. You got to move your feet, because that's how you transfer your power.
Okay.
And see, your power comes from your body. Everybody think your power comes from your arms.
Right.
But your arms is nothing but power distributing units to carry the power from your body through your arms into your hands.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
And that's why I always emphasize that I don't care how great a player think he want to be or think he is, if he got a bad grip, he cannot be a good player.
A bad grip.
A bad grip. That's why I emphasize more than anything a solid grip.
So when you start teaching the children, say you take a child that's never had a golf club in his hands before, what do you make him concentrate on the first day?
The first day, I take the club and put it in his hand, give him a good grip and tell him to stay with it. Say, now this is going to be uncomfortable because you might struggle trying to hold the club, but you just stay with it. Then you will build those muscles up where you can control the club. But it's no use starting the kid out wrong and then later on trying to correct him.
Okay.
You might as well start him out correct and let him develop.
Right. Would you like to see more of the black professionals start working with younger kids?
Well, there's no doubt. I would love to see more black professionals working with the kids. And right here in Winston-Salem, we have a lot, 2 or 3 groups that are working with kids. I won't say that they are the top teachers in the world, but sometimes it's better to have any teacher than to have none.
None, yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And then they can work with them until they get to a certain point, and they come on to a guy who can move them a little further. See?
So you start a kid out 7, 8 years old swinging a golf club.
Right.
When do you concentrate on putting?
Well, all right. Once
short game.
Once
when do you work on the short game?
How to hit the ball, control the ball and everything, then you start working with the short game. Now, a lot of people claim that they would work with the short game first and go from there. That's just the individual preference. But at one time, you got to get into working with the short game. You was out there today when I was working with those kids out there.
Right.
Then you got to put in plenty of work with the short game. But it all comes in the stages.
Right.
But I like to start teaching them how to grip the club and swing the ball, hit the ball, then slowly work with the short game.
Do you concentrate a lot on score when you go out to the tournaments with the kids, or you basically applaud them to stay in the fairway?
Yeah, at this age, you don't really worry that much about scoring. What you try to do is try to get them to make contact with the ball good and try to, control the ball. Then as you go along, then you start making them conscious of saving shots because the name of the game is low score.
Right. So
the straighter you hit it, the better chance you got of hitting it straight. And the straighter you hit it, the less chance it's you'll have to hit it again.
Has the success of Tiger Woods increased the popularity of golf amongst inner city kids, black kids in the community? Say, just for instance, Winston-Salem.
I would have to say, yeah. Although I resent the fact that people come to me and say, "Hey, man, since Tiger started, you got to be." This my program been going on before Tiger come on the scene.
Okay.
You see,
okay.
This will be my 10th year. While this is the 9th year, and we're going into the 10th year. You see, and we've been working with these kids long time before Tiger. Tiger's been around now about 4 or 5 years. You see, but it's no doubt that there are a lot of kids getting involved in the game due to the popularity of Tiger. Matter of fact, not only kids, but there are a lot of black grown-ups.
Yeah, I know the black females are really interested in golf, and it's very new to them.
And
they don't I would attribute that to Tiger Woods.
Yeah, well, they don't know nothing about golf. All they know is they see Tiger on the TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to call in and speak with Mr. Donovan, you have any questions, the number is 725-0109, and my floor people are telling me that I do have a call. Speak up, caller. Thanks very much for calling.
Good evening. How you doing?
We can't hear you.
Good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. No. Okay, I'm on the phone.
We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Would you speak
Yeah,
up,
I have a
please? Would you
question.
ask him to turn it up in the back? Do you turn your TV down, ma'am, please?
Yes, the TV is down.
Okay, turn it up in the back, please.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I got 174 youth in the Cleveland Avenue home, and I wanted to know, in 40 teens, how can I get some of these kids involved in some your program? Because our leader had just died last night, and I see we need some help in this community to get our black kids into a program. So can you relate? Golf might give them an opportunity to be some young boys to be with some men and teaching them something positive for a change. Can you relate on these things?
Yeah, all you got to do if you are interested in getting some kids started, my phone number is 721-1113. Call me, and I'll come over and talk with you. I teach kids free. I don't charge any money. I got all the golf clubs they need, all the golf balls they need. All I need is them and a willing mind to want to learn the game. But now I tell you one thing I don't deal with. I don't deal with no problem kids. In other words, if he got a problem and his parents can't handle him, I'm not going to deal with that because he's not going to stay with me that long. Because I'm not going to have any parents suing me for threatening his son because he done hit somebody with a golf club when I told him not to swing the club.
Okay, and the number is
721-1113.
721-1113. Ask for Mr. Harold Donovan. Like he said, he's willing to work with any kids that you have, and he has all the golf balls and all the golf clubs that you need. And he does it free of charge. 721-1113. Okay, now, how can we develop our own tour? So
Well,
maybe as a like you see the NBA has what they call the ABA or the farming club system like the baseball people do, and I think arena football is a developmental stage for kids to go into the NFL. So can we do the same thing with the golf?
yeah, as I said,
situation?
we once had what was known as the Black Golf Tour. Now, the Black Golf Tour is the one that taught all the black guys that have played the PGA Tour. But it came a time and point when everybody felt, hey, the doors are wide open now. So I don't think we need the Black Tour anymore. But you need the Black Tour now worse than you ever need. All you got to do is look out on the PGA Tour and see what you got. You got one black man who claims he's not black out there playing. Where are the rest of them?
So in other words, we need to form organizations that will sponsor golfing events for black kids coming
Right.
up that are good golfers. I've heard that there are some good golfers in the CIAA.
Yeah,
Kids that are pretty good.
yeah. But see, once
they finish college, they
nowhere
don't.
else to go.
they don't
Well,
have
they
that.
want to go somewhere else, but there's nowhere to go because they don't have that financial thing. You see,
The doors are not open.
yeah, and then they're not strong enough to go right out on. What we need is a training tour,
Yeah.
professional training tour to train those kids who come out of them colleges, where they can come over to this professional tour and play for about 2 years, 3 years, and able to get their game strong enough to go out and challenge on the PGA Tour. See, what the white guys do, they use the college golf for their training tour.
As a stepping stone.
And when they finish, they're ready to go on the PGA Tour. You look at all them white colleges, you don't see very many black guys playing because they just didn't have the opportunity to get in there with them. And they just, the game is not there.
Mm-hmm.
See, but that's what we
and
need.
basically, as you said in the beginning, the PGA has always been thought of as a Caucasian-based
Right.
sport, and the
Right.
black man has always been the caddy.
Right.
Harold, let's take this call. Go ahead, caller. Speak up. Thanks very much for calling.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Fine, sir.
All right, I wanted to get that number one more time because I have a son that's interested in playing golf, and I would like to get him started. If I can get that number one more time.
721
Uh-huh.
1113.
Uh-huh. And I was going to ask a question about the college.
Okay, go ahead and ask Mr. Donovan here.
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask a question about the college players. I was looking at one special on ESPN. They were talking about the young white males or females. They have a junior tournament or junior golf that they play, and they say when it came down to scholarships, most of the black players were not as advanced as far as playing, and they didn't get those scholarships. Even at black schools, you would have whites, like at Jackson State somewhere, getting a scholarship before blacks would because they were more advanced, I guess, like you say, because of the money and things like that, and they were able to polish their game off in college. Is there any truth to that?
That's the very truth.
That's the very
But
truth.
I tell you, I think it's a shame for any black coach to go out and give a white guy a scholarship, which dealing with education, and when they understand the situation. Now, all these black coaches that do that is interested in one thing: making themselves look good and having an outstanding team.
Program. Right.
I'm looking at the fact that they need to take these black kids and give them a chance to develop.
Right.
And go from there.
Right. And what is the age, the earliest age you think you should start with them? I have one that's 9 years old. Is that about the right age?
That's about the right age. We usually try to start them at about 8, whenever they can understand, stop, and can continue.
And I'm also interested, so it's probably no hope for me, is it? I'm an adult, so I guess there's no hope for my game, is it?
Well, it all depends on where you want to go. Golf is a game that you can play a lifetime.
Right.
Now, you might not become a professional.
Right.
But you will. You can always get in there for the recreational part of it.
Right.
And then if you say, for instance, this is another thing that the white guy got on us. Their parents played golf, so they were able to bring their kids to golf.
Right.
My father didn't know nothing about golf. I walked in one day with a golf club and hell, I almost got beat to death with it.
Right. And one last thing. What do you think of Tiger Woods?
What do I think of Tiger Woods?
Yes. And I'm going to hang up.
You want to know the whole truth?
Yes, I do.
I think Tiger Woods have the talent to be the greatest golfer ever lived. But I don't respect him just like I don't respect the white golfer who was a racist because he claimed he's not a black man. And that's why I do not respect him. But talent-wise, he'd probably be the greatest golfer that ever lived.
Do we have another caller? Oh, okay. Now, let me ask you something else, Harold. In developing, do the opportunities for black golfers exist on the Nike Tour and the Buy.com Tour?
Well, it comes down to the same thing. If you're not able to win them spots, you can't play the Nike Tour. They say the door is open. They open the door because they don't know black people are prepared to walk into the door.
Okay.
You see?
Okay.
And the Viacom and the Nike Tour and all that stuff is just the second part of the PGA Tour.
Okay.
You see, and if you miss the PGA Tour qualifying, then you drop back to the Nike or this and that.
Okay. So now coming out of college, a kid has basically, he has to have money to practice every day, doesn't he?
Right.
Okay. And he has to have an opportunity to participate in tournaments and play against other players, other good players, to develop himself. Okay. Well, Harold, I hear my rollout music is going on. But anyway, the community is behind you, brother.
Yeah. Well, you know,
and I really am. I'm glad you came on, but I really noticed how all those kids were coming up to you.
Yeah.
And all those other professional golfers out there, they weren't basically gravitating to them. But I noticed all those kids that came by you, all of them stopped and thanked you.
Well, all you got to do is show them a little love, you know. Show them a little love and try to teach them something. And understand that they have problems at home. I understand that they got plenty of problems at home. So I try to show some of them the love that they don't get at home. And I also try to, teach them. I'm sorry time ran out on so fast because one situation is happening here in Winston that I wanted to talk about. which had nothing to do with golf, but got something to do with football and that Lift Academy situation. See, now I think it's a shame that we're not trying to support Lift Academy. These kids need a place to get their second chance in education. Now, Carver High School don't want to let them use their football field. I think that's a disgrace. I don't know what kind of intelligent black man would stop some black kids who are trying to stay in school to not let them use their football field.
Well, Harold, we got to go, but I'm sure that's got something to do with the school system that's being operated by a different entity in another location. And so, you know.